Here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Heresy Lodge. I am your host, Dylan Cooper, with our constant host over here.
Gavin Franklin.
And apparently, when we record back to back, it doesn't do that awkward blink thing, so that was weird.
It was prepared. We are recording back to back. It is unfortunate. I don't like when that happens too much, just because we don't get to get any interactions from people between calls, or not between calls. between
Fucking work.
I know, stuck at work. Yeah, but sometimes we have to do what we do in order to do vacations and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll also be doing the same next week as well for our next book. Kind of sucks. I mean, Gavin's on vacation, so he's kind of having a good time. He's also working, which partly sucks for him. But I will be down in Dallas for work for a few days. So, yep. Got to do what we got to do to get the podcast rolling, keep you motherfuckers happy. And you know what can make us happy? If you join our Discord, because it's a fun time. Hit us up. It's pinned to the top on our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. We have tips enabled there as well if you feel like contributing to the podcast, which would also make us happy. Go, if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe. If you're not on the YouTube, go to the YouTube, like, and subscribe. You can always email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. Gavin, you had some mead. What you got this time?
I have more mead.
Goddamn right you do.
This is a blueberry. I think that says blueberry. Blueberry lavender mead.
Ooh. Nice and refreshing.
It is pretty good. It tastes 100% like lavender.
Oh. I expected more of the blueberry with a hint of lavender.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
No.
Well, I'm going from Mom Water to Vizzy Mimosa Hard Seltzer Pineapple Orange.
Oh my gosh. You're in for a crazy night.
This one is a seltzer. It is nice and bubbly.
Oh, wow. I feel like you need to go, sunbathing outside or something after this.
I'm going to go mow the lawn.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. You need to mow the lawn with the seltzer in your hand. Maybe wear a big racing hat.
I was really just gonna go for the coconut bra and skirt thing.
Oh, that would be good too.
Just really embrace my
femininity.
Yes.
I'm sure that's not the word you were looking for, but it's the one I used.
It's the one I'm going with.
Now, I'm not saying that that's a feminine drink, because I would probably drink it.
I love all things pineapple. It is pretty good. However, I would never go to the store and be like, I need some Vizzies. I would go to the store and be like, what will I not get made fun of?
You should never go to the store and say, I need anything. If you just go up to the clerk and you say it like that, I need some bread. Well, that's fucking weird. I mean, we have
Where's
bread.
the pasta, baby?
If you go up and they're like, hey, do you have Vizzies here? Very normal. They'd probably be like, yeah, they're in the bag, but no.
No, I'm gonna whisper in their ear all seductively.
I need some Vizzies.
Vizzies and bread, baby. Where is it?
Vizzies and bread. It's gonna be a crazy party.
Guys, we're reviewing Deathfire.
Not Vulkan lives.
But Vulkan does live.
Does.
That's 2. That's as much as I'm going to count, because I will not remember after that.
Where do we start with this book?
I think we should start with how things are going on Ultramar. We have Pyram Secundus. Actually, before that, we have Numion getting picked up by Thiel.
Yeah, so Numion is getting tortured by some word bearers. What's the dude's name?
Azul-Thul.
Azul-Thul.
Damn, I said it like 3 times last episode. Zanut Soul.
Zanut Soul. But he's like torturing a bunch of Shattered Legions, which is like great.
Well, he is specifically doing Numion because he wants to know where their Fulgurite is.
Well, you come to find out that Numion is one amongst 100 people or so legionaries that are being tortured, and like you have your Iron Hands and your Raven Guard there, and your Salamanders, and you're like, wow, these guys are so good at dying.
Thank God they were put in these books.
Yeah, some Ultramarines arrive, they go and save Numiel, and you get that kind of
Numion, not Numiel.
Numiel. Numiel.
Now they're combined.
Yeah, I think one of the funny. It wasn't fun. I guess it's super dark. Maybe things are getting a little dark in my mind, but when they're like, yeah, there's no life signs. All 100 of these shattered legions are dead. I'm like, of course.
I'm so shocked.
Yeah. They take the preacher dude into custody, and they wind up on Ultramar.
Yeah. Just like a quick thing. So Numion still has that thing of Vulkans, and I guess it's like a fucking locator or transmission beacon. I don't know, but they're like, hey, there's something there. So Thiel's team attacks the ship and finds Numion alive.
And they tell you about that.
Actually, there's a funny scene I wanted to talk about. Whenever Numion escaped and he's like running down, and the Ultramarines are like, I just saw a Legionnaire run by. And I was like, man, if they don't say it's a fucking salamander, they are fucking lying sacks of shit. Oh, I wonder what Legionary that was, or what Legion that guy was from.
What did he look like? Muscular. Tall,
bald. That's it.
That's all the description that we're able to. He's a legionnaire. We're gonna leave it at that. Don't want to get like super into it. I didn't even notice that.
I just immediately started laughing because I was like, you know it's a fucking salamander. Come on. Because he only said at first was legionnaire, and I was like, is that really are gonna give me like? Not surprised there's a fucking salamander running around. Like, oh, that was a naked legionnaire.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, you're killing word bears. Do we need to shoot him? Like, no, I think he's a friendly legionnaire. Really? Which one?
Do I have to say it?
Yeah. So they rescue Numiel. Numion.
Numion.
Listen. We haven't stopped drinking since the last episode.
This is going very well.
Your mind, that's a week, which is true. We haven't stopped drinking.
In our mind, it was in actually that. I will be in Dallas, but not for vacation. I don't know if my work will allow me to be drunk every day, but I can find out.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. The stuff on McCrag is pretty boring in my opinion. They have this situation where they're locking up. Obviously, we know they've locked up Narek.
Yep.
They're doing the same thing they were doing at the end of Armored Empire. Like, who do you serve? He's like, oh, I serve the Word, which is a stupid question to ask. That is so annoying to me. That's like the one. They only ask one question, and they're like, well, he keeps giving like this answer, and I'm like, well, why don't you try asking a different fucking question?
Or I don't know if it's the same answer every time, and your fucking psyker can't break him is also like, I think he means this. He's like, maybe that's the fucking answer. I don't know.
Yeah, or just like ask a different question. Like, hey, like, what are you trying? Did you kill Vulkan?
Yeah, why was that not a question?
I'm like, no. Like, what happened to Vulkan? No, like they're just like, yeah, this dude totally killed Vulkan. He's out here. He's gonna try and kill Gilliman next week. Oh my gosh.
Also, why would they assume a normal legionnaire could kill Vulkan?
Yeah, and what I don't understand too is why, if it's that big of if they're like so adamant about the fact that like this dude's evil, just fucking kill him. Like, what are you gonna? Yeah, you've already made up your mind that he's there to try and assassinate Gilliman for some reason, because everyone's so worried about Gilliman.
Imperium Secundus.
Yeah, it's like
a heretic.
Yeah, I'm sure like Horace is over there shaking in his boots. Oh, Imperium Secundus. Oh no.
Gotta take down another one? I thought they were already gonna be over here.
You mean you're all trapped on a planet in the middle of a rune storm? Oh, what am I gonna do?
Well, I'm pretty sure the lion's there by choice still.
Yeah, the lion. That's so true. The lion has yet to reveal the fact that he can also leave at any point in time, apparently, and he's just chilling out. He literally.
What he should have done is after he found out that he wasn't going to be the one in charge of Imperium Secundus, he should have just teleported and left and went to Terra. Like, maybe I can lead over here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like it is really annoying because you do have the lion show up multiple times to Numian, and he's like. They say he's like very shady. He's a very shady character, apparently. He's like, how do you feel about Imperium Secundus?
Yeah, it's like, what's going on?
You know, Numian, his answer is Vulkan lives. And the lion's like,
does he?
Right on. And then disappears. Like, that is the conversation that the lion has with Numian.
Yeah, basically. And then we never see the lion again?
Yeah, like the lion's like, I'm trying to get some like buddies to fight against Imperium Secundus.
Will you vote for me for next War Master? I used to have some siege engines, but I probably got something else I can give you.
I'll give you the most powerful ship in my arsenal to help take you back, Vulcan, back to his planet if you vote for me.
Want a fucking teleporter? Because I got some.
Just vote for me. He's gonna break. Like, you'd be the guy that breaks Narek out of prison. Hey, like, are we cool? I'll give you some shit. Cool.
Yeah, if Newmine would have just been like, look, I'll give you, and I'm technically in charge. If Vulcan does live, I'll make sure he votes for you too. Well, I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, take the teleporter. Fuck that thing. I don't give a shit. I'm not using it, obviously.
Lion has that little conversation, and basically what Numian says, Lion's like, well, how do you feel? Numian's like, I don't give a shit.
Honestly, though.
He's like, I really don't. I'm like, so basically during this time they're having the conversation, Numian goes to see Vulcan's casket for the first time, and Vulcan is gone. He's disappeared, and it's like, holy shit, what happened to Vulcan? So another very weird thing, he goes in front of all three of the Primarchs in this like big audience chamber. And he's like, Gilliman lied to us. Vulcan's alive. He's walking around. And Gilliman's like, look, like, we'll try and find him. Numian's like,
the fuck is dead.
Yeah, Gilliman's like, I promise he was dead, but we'll try and find him. And Numian looks to Sanguinius, who's the new emperor. He's like, are you gonna punish people if he's still alive?
Yeah, that was so weird.
Weird question to ask.
And then like we have to fucking line over there, just like snickering to himself, and then it's fucking Sanguinius is like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we'll kill all kinds of people.
Dude, I if he's still alive, like, holy fuck, what the hell?
If I find Vulcan in the bathroom, I'll behead Gilliman right now. He's kind of annoying the shit out of me, honestly.
Look, man, he made me the fucking emperor. I don't know what the fuck's happening here.
The lion's sneaking around like he's Chorus Corax. I hope it's not a genetic thing. And so like Numian's out like trying to find Vulcan, and that's when the lion approaches him. And that's, the lion's like,
yeah,
I feel about Secundus, and he's like, I don't give a fuck. And then he disappears, and Numian's like, that was weird.
And then they magically find Vulcan like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, he's just sitting in a cemetery.
Which
Numian finds him.
Yeah. I was so confused by what the fuck the point of that was.
So I thought it was one of two things. Yeah, the point didn't make any sense. The reasoning was one of two things. Either his teleporter thing like activated, or Numian getting close to the body with his sigil. I think actually
it was a fucking magnetic reaction. It's just like he just went flying out.
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like with the hammer though, he would have been like woo, flying around on it like fucking maybe. Thor.
He'd end up right back in Makraka's atmosphere.
He was shooting out and just flying back in.
Still love
I cannot wait to give this to Horus.
Exactly.
He is going to have so much fucking fun on this thing. Dude, not only is it a hammer, because we had to mention that a few times. But it's a really cool roller coaster on the creek.
Yeah, something like that. You're gonna love this.
It is the ride of your fucking life.
So they get Vulkan into the ship. Oh, another important thing happens. It is revealed to them, for some reason, the Psyker dude takes it upon himself. He's like, I need to tell the Salamanders that Narek killed Vulkan. And you have Narek like, dude, what the fuck?
Dude, I didn't fucking kill shit.
You haven't even asked me that question.
Yeah, I really don't understand like why they like immediately. I still can't like fathom like it took Fulgrim to kill Manus. Why would you think any other normal legionary, and at that point, probably by himself, could have killed Vulkan, even with this special weapon that they don't even know what it is?
Yeah, like they're not like super, because if you think about it from the Ultramarines perspective, they're chasing down Conrad Kurz. Conrad Kurz and Vulkan are fighting. Next thing you know, they arrive. Conrad Kurz is gone. Vulkan has a weird stick shoved through his heart, and there's a random word bearer there.
They shouldn't.
Who do you
The
serve?
only person that should know what the Fulgrim is Numion, who wasn't even there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, just kind of weird. They tell them, the Salamanders are like, all right, we're going to go kill Narek. They start heading down to go kill Narek with Thiel, and come to find out that the other word bearer that they had kidnapped got kidnapped on purpose and was actually there to kill Narek. Which, if you think about it as like an Ultramarine, I'd be like, that's suspicious. Kind of seems like they're not.
Maybe that guy didn't kill Vulkan.
But they didn't think about that. Narek was gone. They killed the demon thing. That was previously a word bearer. They're unburdened or whatever that new term is. And now they're like, fine, screw it. We're not worried about Narek. Let's take Vulkan home to Nocturne. And there's a conversation between Numian and Gilliman, and it's really funny because Gilliman turns into Dorn for a second.
Yeah, kind of.
Where he's like, hey, I could really use 20 legionaries. And Numian's
Hey,
like,
man, there's 60. I think there's 66.
yeah. And Numian's like, no, we're getting out of here. Gilliman's like, I gotta build more walls. I could really use you to build more walls.
Look, I need more walls, and I really, really need butt plug guns.
You guys are really good at dying, and I would like for you to be here. Worst comes.
Look, I keep sending all my guys off to Calth. I really need some other guys here.
Listen, I need to send like 1,000 legionnaires to Calth, but I also need 1,000 legionnaires here. It's the whole mindset. So one of the things is that like they finally load Vulkan up. Obviously, we talked in the previous episode. There's just like debate between whether or not Numian should be mourning Vulkan or moving past it and becoming like the leader of the Salamanders. This is kind of the annoying one.
Yeah. Then we get 500 pages of space.
Yeah, they just go to space for 500 pages.
Yeah. They get on the Charybdis? Charybdis? Sure, yeah. I don't know. Start going until they get a random thing like, oh, we see some Death Guard.
Yeah, so they end up at like a station.
Yeah, like a fueling station.
Yeah, so they first pass through like a giant ship. And I'm wondering if that's supposed to be one of the Word Bearer's giant ships.
It's probably still the Furious Abyss.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. So they make it to this station where they're getting like a distress signal, and they come to find out that like Death Guard are attacking this spaceship station.
Which makes no sense.
Yeah, so Death Guard are just kind of like chilling out. So they get on, they kill the Death Guard, but then they find Hecht.
Yeah.
Wearing the Sigilite's armor. Dun 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 dun.
Yep. And don't worry, somehow the Death Guard were able to send a distress signal to other Death Guard to let them know they were attacked.
So I think it's important now. We're in the review. Let's just talk about Hecht. Let's figure this shit out.
Okay. I don't understand it.
Yeah. So Hecht was sent by Malkador to free Narek. Now I don't know. Maybe we skipped the part, but Narek was gone when the Salamanders went to go try and kill him.
Yeah.
You find out that Hecht freed him. Went to this random satellite place. Why? Don't know. And Hecht was sent there to wipe Narek's mind, but instead accidentally or somehow implanted his own conscious into Narek's mind. So now that mind has two minds in it.
Yeah, and then the original one died, and somehow Narek got his face.
Yeah, so yeah. So he
And it was also so advanced that the librarian was like, only fucking Malkador could do this? Question mark.
Yeah, so it seems like so basically that process of wiping out the memory, implanting your unconscious was very, very powerful psyker. Now, obviously we don't know about Hecht or how powerful of a psyker he is. But
yeah, but the fact that he was like, there's very few psychers in the world or the universe that I think could do this. Assuming it'd be the Emperor Malkador Magnus.
Yeah, but essentially we think he used Malkador's powers to do this.
But
and the question is why? I believe that Malkador was attempting to recruit.
Yeah, which would make sense because Narek is a solid word bearer for it. He's clearly not on the traitor side.
The question becomes, why did you have to wipe his memories?
See, that's the part I don't. Yeah, that's why I think this whole thing gets so fuzzy because it doesn't make sense. The whole process, wiping his memory doesn't make sense. Whatever fucking happened to Hecht makes no sense. How he got Hecht's face makes no sense.
Yeah, because it didn't actually talk about, because it actually showed Hecht on the ground, but it didn't say that his face had been cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seemed like the procedure to like put the face on was very complicated. And Hecht also discussed the fact he was supposed to meet another
Errant
there as well. So maybe there's all kinds of theories. Like maybe that other errant was the one that performed all of this. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but even then,
Like who was it and why? Yeah, very interesting. And throughout the book, Narek fully believes he's Hecht until he starts interacting with the other word bearers and realizes that he's actually Narek.
well, it's because he calls him Narek. He's like, you can't fucking fool me.
Yeah, so Narek is like having this weird identity crisis, and he comes to find out that like he can like peel.
Yeah, like starts, he like
face
cuts
off.
his face a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, that's where I'm not bleeding that much," and just rips off his fucking face.
Yeah, it's very strange, and he also has this intention or desire to kill Vulkan, which, as we discussed in the prior episode, doesn't make a lot of sense. And I'm wondering if like maybe because of this identity crisis he's having, maybe Hecht was supposed to kill Vulkan.
Which would make no sense from Alcador's side.
Yeah, I don't know. This is another thing. This is one of those things like Malkador. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing it? Your actions make no sense.
Yeah, because I mean they don't. They know the Salamanders are loyal because they all fucking died on Isfan. So
Yeah.
it'd make no sense for him to send someone to kill Vulkan unless like he thought like maybe if like his body was destroyed he would resurrect. But I don't know if anyone knows that he's perpetual other than Conrad Kurz at this point.
Yeah, the only thing I can really think of, well, I think the other Primarchs do, like Gilman and the Lion.
Do they though? Because they were pretty shocked when he was fucking moving around.
Well, I mean, he came back to life on McCrag.
Yeah, but I don't. Do they even know what the fuck perpetuals are?
I don't think they know what perpetuals are, but I think they understand that Vulcan can come back to life. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I don't know. They're pretty convinced he's dead.
Yeah, I know that's very strange. I talked about like literally came out of the atmosphere, burned to a crisp, nothing but dust, rises out of a tube, like completely fine, then gets stabbed by a stick. Oh, he's definitely dead now.
Yeah. And none of them try to pull it out, which makes no sense to me either.
Yeah. I think, yeah, the only thing I can think of with Malkador's motives is like either he was trying to recruit Narek, kind of, or he was trying to kill Vulkan because, and I don't think this is the case, but it is an interesting concept. Maybe Malkador believes what the Cabal believes, but I doubt it. I don't think
Yeah, I
that's
don't think so. I don't think he would.
Yeah, very weird. Like I don't know the decision behind all that. Maybe it'll explain like what Malkador's plan was for Narek, but right now it's kind of hard to surmise because recruiting him and wiping his memory don't really work together. He obviously didn't kill Narek. So the question is like, yeah, was the mind transfer purposeful? Was it an accident? Where's this other knight errant? What was the role there? Like a lot of confusing things going on.
Yeah. Made no fucking sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So they get in. They get into the warp. The first time they go in is a utter failure.
Yeah, they just get like kicked right back out in like minutes.
Yeah. They also start using their psyker as a navigator, which I was like, I didn't know you could just do that.
Yeah, that's how that worked.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I can do it, no problem.
What wasn't there? I think it might have been a short story or something like someone that. Oh no, it was fucking Misugi. He would like hang out with like the navigator room, I think, and just like go around the warp with them.
I did not know that.
I'm pretty sure it was one of. I think it was in Scars. It might not have been Yasugi, but I think it was.
Okay. Yeah, that was kind of like an interesting thing, and they get thrown out of the warp and they get attacked by more Death Guard.
Randomly, Death Guard and
Yeah.
Ultramar makes perfect sense.
There's a weird scene where Numian kills the Death Guard Terminator with like with the sigil that he has, and it wasn't supposed to be able to do that.
I don't know. There was like several times it was mentioned like it's more than decoration. It's a hammer, and I was like, man, you're really beating this one to death.
Just like Vulcan lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like god damn, like it was cool the first time. I was like, that's a good line. Now it's like, god damn, that's the fucking hammer. I know. He said it like 4 or 5 times.
So that was an interesting kind of thing. So things are happening to Numian, like how he survived, why he's able to use his hammer, the way he's able to use it. Just a lot of like weird stuff that Numian's been experiencing. And then they go back into the warp a second time, and this time it's more successful. And that's when the demons attack, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you get these little children demons, which are just copies of the child that
Cersei and Elysian.
yeah, Elysian and Cersei had. And so like he's having like a crazy flashback, seeing her everywhere. And it's really creepy. Like he's following this little girl around a ship. And if that were me, I'm like, oh, that's fucking
Also,
weird.
I don't think we talked about this like on air. The fucking audiobook of this is so ridiculous. You have this like grown ass man who's talking like this to be the little girl. Like, what is happening? Yeah. Oh my god, what is happening right now?
Come and chase me, Daddy. Like, oh
Daddy,
god.
follow me to the darkness where the demons are.
Yeah. So he follows her. He's an idiot. And I don't know. There's just a lot of like interactions as well during this time that could have just been cut out, talking about whether or not each of the members of the crew essentially believe in the idea that Vulcan lives or whether or not he's permanently
I'm pretty
dead.
sure if we cut out Vulcan lives, we could probably eliminate like 20 pages.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
I need to count how many like words are on a page. We know it was said 317 times.
Yeah, I think you can probably cut out 2 or 3 pages, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do the battle with the demons, but during this battle, Numian has a very interesting encounter.
Is this the one where? Oh, with Magnus.
With Magnus the Red. So
So even before this, like Magnus was mentioned at one point. Like I think it was the librarian. Is either the librarian or the navigator? Like they were in the warp, and had mentioned like Magnus the Red, or not Magnus the Red, but like the Cyclops or some shit like that. And I was like, okay, well that's interesting. And then it's not mentioned again for like 300 pages.
oh yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. So the but way I understood, the word bearers are using the demons on the ship as a tether to go into the ship
Yeah.
during the warp. So there's word bearers and demons there now. And the preacher is trying to extract the fulgurite from Vulkan because he believes that the fulgurite can be used to kill the emperor, I think.
I think.
And he extracts the fulgurite by cutting it with a piece of metal.
Anatheme?
No, it's not an anatheme. It's a piece of metal cut from Ferrus Manus's hand.
How did I miss this?
Yeah, I think it was one of his middle fingers that have been sharpened into a knife.
What?
Yes, and that's why like
Oh my god, what the fuck?
yeah. That's why I was like it would make sense for a Primarch to be able to pull it out because this guy was basically saying that like only a Primarch has the ability to like remove this, and that's why he was using Ferrus Manus's finger.
I still don't understand how this Fulgurite works. It was somehow a blade was made when I mean I understand how glass is made. Glass is made from fucking like heat and shit. It's like lightning hits the ground, creates this weapon from the Emperor. Why are they not just all armed with super mega powered weapons then?
Like full
If the Emperor could just like shoot down some fucking lightning, clearly it's very easy for him to do. The whole fucking legion, all the legions should have super mega powers.
Well, I guess obviously it makes sense for the Emperor not to do that because, as far as we know, that's the only thing that can kill him. So he probably wants to limit the amount of that in the universe.
But he missed this one. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. So he missed it, changed everything. But he is able to extract a sliver, but he gets pulled back. His like bond gets pulled back because it gets interrupted by Magnus the Red, who shows up and appears before Nubion. And what do you think about this scene?
It's weird because like we have like part of it like sounds like Magnus, and then like other part of it's just very weird. That doesn't really seem like Magnus at all.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Magnus. And then the parts that are like nice of like what Magnus is saying he's doing doesn't make sense.
No, because Magnus, I don't remember him being like super cryptic or anything. He seemed very, very cocky and like, this is all you got to do, you dumb fuck.
So Magnus is currently broken into a bunch of shards.
Yeah, are these fucking like supposed to be like each shard is a fucking different type of personality? Like, this is my anger shard. This one is my happy shard.
I think so.
This one's my sexy shard, baby.
Fulgrim has that one.
You ready for round 3? I can make more than my body bigger.
Oh my god. Yeah, but I think that's kind of how it is. I need to find Magnus's happy shard. My happy shard. Find my happy shard. Find my happy shard.
It's about time someone found me. Gosh, Don Dolly. Oh, I'm so happy to see you guys.
I've totally forgiven Lehman Russ for everything. I love the space wolves.
Yeah, this is such a great time. He's fucking surrounded by word bears. Like, I mean, I could probably be in a better place, but this is okay. I'm having a good time. Happy to be found.
This shard seems to be very volatile. So Numion, basically, Magnus makes the claim that the reason Numion survived on the planet, the reason Numion was able to use the hammer, there's a couple scenes where like he has visions of Vulkan doing something, and Magnus is claiming that it was all him.
Yeah, I don't know. Is this normal arrogant shard. I honestly don't know.
And my question is like, why?
Yeah, what does like if
They make a claim that Magnus may be like protecting him because he's upset about Vulkan's death. But I'm like, there's like a million. If you're upset about Vulkan's death, you should not side with Horus.
also he could probably tell you like, hey, Vulcan's not dead. He's perpetual. All you got to do is this, this, this. And also the whole you will have a choice thing, and then shoots him out of the fucking warp into like Terran space. And they're like, oh, we should actually still go to Nocturne. Like, you're telling me the Emperor cannot remove this weapon that he probably fucking made?
Whole conversation I want to have, but I want to make sure we stay with Magnus
Yes.
because this is a very weird one. So like Magnus, I don't understand the like why Magnus would do this. I kind of don't believe it.
No, it doesn't sound like Magnus to me either.
I think, as weird as it sounds, I think Vulcan was responsible for the things that happened in Numian.
Yeah, I agree. Because I feel like Magnus would want Vulcan to live.
Yeah, and like, yeah, and it's very strange because if he wants Vulcan to live, I think Magnus believes that Vulcan is dead. He doesn't. He does not believe Vulcan can come back to life, supposedly. But he also.
I feel like the Magnus we know would, with all the shit that has happened to Vulcan, and supposedly how Magnus has been in this warp the entire time, just like watching everything. I think he would have seen how many fucking times Vulcan has come back to life.
But yeah, it also kind of shows too that like Magnus, if he wanted Vulcan to live, it kind of seemed like a test at that case,
Yes.
right? So he was like testing Numion to make sure that he was going to do the right thing and go back to Nocturne. But at the same time, like he was already gonna, I don't know. I think it's very strange. Like Magnus should have either killed them or not killed them,
Yes.
killed them or helped them, you know, and to have this whole like anger bout and then claim that he was the reason that everything's gone okay. It's like, well, shit, it really hasn't gone that great.
Yeah, dude, we've been getting fucked by ward bearers and randomly death guard.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of demons behind you that you froze. Like,
Yeah.
you could have just not let that happen.
Yeah, that'd been really cool.
It kind of seems like if he's dedicating all of his time to this one random salamander for like no reason, you know, like if he was actually trying to get Vulcan to live, he would like push it pretty hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like this is how you can like remove the Fulgurite something.
Yeah, sorry, I was yawning there. I
No,
think
you're good.
very strange.
I'm still not convinced that we haven't seen 3 people that could remove it.
Yeah, that's true. Now 4 with the dude having the finger of Ferris Mantis.
Yeah, like, I don't understand.
I got his finger.
If one finger could sit there and cut it,
Yeah,
I'm very positive at least Sanguinius probably could have removed it.
yeah. I think it's interesting too. The preacher at that point is like, well, I'm very happy that I got this shard, this little sliver of the Fulgurite.
Yeah, he's like, I bet we can do something with this.
I'm curious as to where that goes. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Another thing that's important to note that we didn't actually talk about this in the prequel, but with the Death Guard, the dude that's in charge of the Death Guard, his goal is super fucking stupid.
He wants fucking shit.
Vulcan's head.
Vulkan, yeah, Vulkan. I was like, man, I've heard his name 100 times.
His whole thing is like, it would be so fucking rad if I had Vulcan's head just chilling out. Like I'd be able to brag to everybody. I'd be able to go to Horus and be like, dude, I killed Vulcan. Horus would be like, dude, no, you didn't. Shut the fuck up.
Vulcan lives.
Vulcan lives. Haven't you heard? Vulcan lives. It's like, oh yeah, that whole thing would be very funny. But yeah, I think that whole decision where he's like, this needs to happen. I think that's very strange the way they went about that.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, they did get out of the warp and they arrive in the
Terra.
solar
Terra
system.
in
Solar
space.
system. Yeah.
And they are broadcasting a message from Dorn saying, everyone that's not a traitor, please come here.
Bring your walls, bring your butt plug guns, bring everything that you have. We got to get here now.
And the best part is they broadcast this through the entire ship. And then what do? What do they do, Gavin?
They leave, dude.
They
Of course
fucking leave, which makes no god. I cannot fathom why they're not like, I bet you the guy that created Vulkan, I bet he can't fix him. That doesn't make any sense.
What was the last? There was maybe it was a short story where we reviewed last time where I talked about how it reminded me of that Holy Grail scene where they're like, I don't want to go to Camelot. Like that's that's very similar to this right here. You know, like they're like, oh, we made it to Terra, and then they just have this scene of like Dorn doing weird shit, butt plug wall guns, and they're like, actually, let's not go to Terra.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, Dorn's there, and the motherfucking Emperor.
Yeah.
If anyone that could
bring the Mechanicum, they don't know the Mechanicums trade them.
For someone, I live on the planet Earth, and guess what? We have volcanoes here too. Just drop them one of those if that's what you're so concerned about.
They definitely have volcanoes on Mars.
Yeah, just drop them on a fucking volcano. It'd probably be
easier to take them to Trader Mars than it would be to go back through the warp. But hey, I think one of the interesting things too, it's like Dorn's broadcasting that message. I think it's hilarious. It's like, hey, if you're a friend, come here. But if you're not, stay away.
That also, you think if anything were to even be a blip into the Sol system, they would have been like immediately like looked at.
Yeah, I mean, we have all of these like stories of people arriving in the Sol system and like immediately getting boarded by Imperial fists and custodes and all kinds of crazy shit.
This apparently big ass salamander ship shows up like, actually, nah, we're going back in there. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely an interesting decision. So basically, the reason they decide to go back in is nonsensical. Nubian has a conversation with the chaplain who doesn't believe Vulkan should live. And he's like, don't you remember the vision you had of the volcano?
Look into the flames.
He's like, I see fire. He's like, you see Deathfire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's our volcano, yes. Bro.
That's a volcano. Check this out. Check this out. You see fire, which in this city's language is called Deathfire, which is also what they call this volcano. And he's like, oh my God, Vulkan's alive.
Oh my God, just drop him in.
Just drop him in the volcano.
That makes fucking sense.
Yeah, so he's like, I, with no Astronomicon, whatever experience, or what's it called? The astropathic experience, am going to lead this vessel to Nocturne.
Look, man, all we got to do is just got to follow the flame.
Yeah, so he goes.
Which is why I was imagining putting a fucking flame in front of the ship. Like, lighting their way there.
Dylan, how would that work?
Well, it's just like lights, but brighter.
So that, because you can't.
No, man.
Now, again, I'm not a space expert. But can you just like put a fire in space? I think you need oxygen for the fire to burn.
Look, this is the year a lot. They figured it out. There's a Geller field around it, so it's fine.
That I can imagine like the Mechanicum, like some Mechanicum dude, right? He lights this giant torch and then like puts it on the front of the ship. It's all working. The Mechanicum comes back in, and you have like some space marines like, huh, how's that working? He's like, the machine spirit. And they're like, it's made of wood. And it just goes away. It just stops immediately.
God damn it.
So yeah, they decide to go back into the warp using their chaplain as a navigator who loses his eyes.
Staring into the flames.
And then their psyker dies, and then their navigator comes down and is like, I'm not the navigator anymore.
I'm a demon.
So the shipmaster blows himself up with the navigator.
His love. But also like blows up a bunch of shit.
And then they get the Nocturne. And really the story should have just fucking ended there, because Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but no. There's more. They get the Nocturne, and guess who appears? The Death Guard! Those resilient bastards with some word bears. And you can't just go to the planet that you have been traveling through forever. From the warp forever, despite all the dumb shit that's happened. Dude,
Is the mom water getting to you?
No, man, this book just fucking gets to me because it makes no sense on how I don't maybe I don't know like where like what system or where in the systems Nocturne lands, but how they go from a creek to the Soul System. We're like, we gotta go back in there, and they appear at fucking Nocturne. Like I don't fucking get it.
No. I think right. And there's Sarah, and just like, this isn't right. All right, turn back around. Dorn.
The volcano's not nearly big enough. Like all the ships are coming. Like we gotta get it. And like no, hurry, quick, go.
Totally. Like I can imagine it being anywhere at that point. Like they arrive and there's Horus's fleet. That's not right.
Yeah, this is definitely a wrong turn. We gotta go back.
Turn around. There they are. You just see them. I would love to see us get like that, like the Salamander ship just popping up all over the place. I'm like, you get to that. They arrive at Cygnus Prime, where they have the planets turning into all kinds of weird shit. That doesn't seem right. There they are.
The Blooders like, oh, please wait.
Sorry, we gotta
missiles.
Get back. Yeah. You arrive. There's the Mechanicum world, like turning traitor. That's not it. Set out.
Shit, we're getting closer to Terror. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think that whole thing would be hilarious. So yeah, they head back in. Vulkan, Death Guard arrives. They decide best thing to do, send everyone on a Stormbird, and there are people that stay behind to like go down with the ship, which is like everybody. Like only 4 Salamanders live, which makes sense to me personally.
No, they only left 3 Salamanders.
No, they left a lot more. Only 20 went down.
Well, the other ones that died in the first assault of the Word Bears and Death Guard, because Numion was like, we need 2 people to stay, but Zathan was still there because he got the shit kicked out of him by Nurek. Yeah. Which, by the way, that was I'm assuming the 2 that could fight Nurek that he was claiming was going to be Numion and what's his face? Yeah. But I thought that was a funny scene when he's like, there are 2 Salamanders who I think can beat me. You're not one of them. Just beats the shit out of Zathan.
What I think is so funny about that, though, is I feel like Zathan was the best warrior they had on there.
Really fucking not. I guess he was just a schmuck.
I think Nurek was saying Numion and Vulkan.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Maybe, but I don't know. Yeah, so he he gets out of his identity crisis, and he kills Danet. What's his name?
Dagnet.
Dagnet.
Yeah.
No, that's not right. It's something like that. Dargat or something. And it was really badass. It was really badass how he did it. Because the Gat's like going to go kill Zathan. He totally used Zathan as bait. Yeah. He shot him in the chest.
Yeah, and that was it.
So Nurek then leaves in a drop pod which I don't know why everyone else just didn't do. And he makes it down to Nocturne. That's the last we see of him. Very interested to see where that goes.
By himself, he's just on this death world.
Chilling. They blow up the Word Bear's ship because there's a Word Bear and a Death Guard ship there. But the Preacher escapes. He actually kills some Death Guard that are supposed to watch him on the Death Guard ship and then just leaves. He also takes a drop pod, I'm pretty sure. So he leaves on a ship, but I can't imagine that it's a warp-capable ship because he doesn't have a navigator. So I'm assuming he is also a Nocturne.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Unless they just come up with something.
He lives on Nocturne's moon, where he makes a ritual to turn the moon into a monster. They eat Nocturne.
Vulkan lives.
Vulkan does live through that, though.
And you have so I think you have 2 Word Bears down there now, from what I understand. The barge blows up, you lose the chaplain, you lose Zaffin, you lose all the ship crew that are left. You lose like 10 more Salamanders on the ground of Nocturne because the Death Guards start coming down and killing them. But then you find out, don't worry, the day is saved because there's an additional 50 Salamanders on
No,
Nocturne.
it's like 700.
Yeah, 700 Salamanders. But they die so fast.
Which doesn't make sense to me. Like, surely their main world
would have a lot. Yeah, even if you went to Isfan, you would
keep
a lot behind, but I guess not.
Maybe Vulcan's a fucking idiot.
Maybe. I mean, most of the Primarchs are. We haven't seen Vulkan be an idiot yet because he hasn't really had the opportunity.
He's just been dead the whole time.
We'll see what happens. I mean, actually, he could have killed Conrad Kurz.
Yeah, but instead, he just left.
He chose the moral high ground.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah. So the battle on Nocturne with the Death Guard was a useless battle, but it was still cool. It was cool, but useless. I was so tired of the book at that point. I was like, please, I do not want any more battle scenes. Death Guard show up with tanks, and then fucking dragons come out of the goddamn ground and start eating the fucking tanks.
And then they're like, all right, we're done. And fuck off. And there's still like 2 more tanks.
Well, I don't understand what's super frustrating about this is like if I was the Salamanders, I would have been like, holy shit. That's
also,
great.
Why did they come out when they were being bombed?
Exactly. Like they were being bombed and protected, but they decided to come out and fight. And it's not like the dragons were like, oh, those guys are cool.
Yeah, they're discriminating against fucking yep, that's a salamander right there. I
would have been like, I'm gonna see how far the dragons get while I'm in my bunker. I hate that. I hate when you read books about war.
There's no strategic advantage of you going out there
to sally out. Yeah, it's so stupid.
I mean, Dorn would have done it right. He would have sat at his wall and like, all right,
this is great.
Look at those fucking dragons. Holy shit.
No, dude, there were
Can we get those on Terra?
We need more dragons. Bring the dragons.
Butt plug guns. We need dragons.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah, so then you get this like final battle between Numion and the fucking Death Guard leader. That was probably my favorite part about the Death Guard leader. As he goes, he's like, you will always remember the day that you died to, and then Numion beheads him.
Yeah, it's like, I'm never gonna remember your fucking name.
It's like, I literally don't give a shit about you. You were written into 4 lines in the book by Nick Kyme. Like, I don't care.
You should have been eaten by a goddamn dragon. This would have been better.
That would have been way cooler. So you're just gonna die this way. And then we finally get the ritual where Numion gets to lay Vulkan to rest in the volcano.
And then guess what?
Vulkan does not come back.
For like 9 days. So what does Numion do?
I also need to throw myself at a volcano.
Did he even fall into a volcano? Did he go up to the top? Did he even get that high? Did he?
He was like going through the mountain, and then there was like a fissure in the mountain that he went through, and then the fissure closed.
and then it popped out Vulkan.
It popped out Vulkan. What happened to Numion?
With the Fulgurite still inside of him.
Yeah. Vulkan does still have the Fulgurite embedded
Which
in him.
makes no sense.
Yeah. What was preventing him from coming back to life? What did John Grammaticus do? So here's the thing I want to talk about. John Grammaticus was sent by the Cabal to kill Vulkan because they saw that Vulkan living or Vulkan dying would swing the war so much in the favor of the traitors that they had to win by a lot, right? But they also know what happens. I'm assuming because Eldrad knew, and the Cabal's like full of fucking Eldar.
Yeah.
That they would know that if John stabbed Vulkan, then he would then be able to take a human sacrifice in order to come back to life. Apparently, that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know how this works. He was already alive, though.
It took John's lives, though, which doesn't make sense.
How does this work, Nick Kyme? Explain it to me. So, from what I understand, John Grammaticus stabbing Vulkan takes all of John's lives from him, but it does kill Vulkan, only temporarily until Vulkan can be resurrected by the sacrifice of another person.
And apparently him going into a fucking volcano and melting his body did nothing.
My question is, yeah, that makes no sense too, because like, then the Fulgurite would just be floating there. If the Fulgurite was indestructible, Vulcan's body was not. We know that because he got baked alive by Conrad at one point.
Yeah. And several other things happened to him.
I don't know. So what doesn't make sense to me, if the Cabal knew that could happen, why wouldn't they just kill Numion when they had the chance, when they were on that planet? They had John Grammaticus and Erebus there, and they were just like, fuck it, we'll let him live.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Unless Magnus really did like somehow freakishly protect him. I don't know. There is a lot of like weird questions, like why was Magnus involved? What does Malgador want? Why didn't the Cabal do this? How the fuck did that even work?
I still don't understand the whole Fulgurite shit anyway. It makes no fucking sense to me.
Yeah, like how that works with perpetuals, how it allows you to bring somebody back to life by sacrificing another person. I don't know. It's fucking weird. Like, I feel like most of the time, if you're dealing with loyalist Primarchs or loyalist forces in general, if there's some weird witch shit that happens, it's explained well because you can get away with doing unexplainable weird witch shit with the traitors because of the warp shit that goes on with them.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
But now,
it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with Vulkan at this point. Like, if he would have just removed the Fulgurite and came back to life, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Would have been interesting. But we got what we got. It was okay. There was a lot of cool story points. The actual storyline of this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. There's so many questions.
It's also just so fucking long. And it didn't need to be.
It's not super long, but it definitely feels that way.
It's 574 pages.
Yeah, I guess that is pretty long. I don't have a physical book, but
it's probably the third longest book in the series so far.
Close to it, yeah.
What's Nick think he is? Fucking Graham?
Graham. Oh, Graham gets to write all the long books.
Yeah.
All the long short stories.
Vulkan Lives was kind of long too, but not this long.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
Though. Yeah, that's the
Deathfire.
book. What's the next thing called?
Or Without End? No, did we already do that one?
It is. Let's see. I have. Fuck. The next one is War Without End. You're correct. Heresy begets retribution.
And the first story, a prequel to the Vengeful Spirit, which we all know needed a prequel, which now makes it by far the longest story in the Horus Heresy.
Well, I mean, if you think about all the books that also are all the short stories that we needed to know before that too.
Yeah, thinking like really the context to the Vengeful Spirit probably lies somewhere around 800 to 900 pages.
Yeah, and I mean that's including the book. But think about like there's probably like 6 or 7 short stories that go into it too.
Exactly, because the book's 600. This one goes into it. Quite a few short stories. A lot of the Garo story.
Stupid. Either
Yeah.
way, that'll be a rant next episode, I'm sure. So that's it for us, guys, on our review of Deathfire by Nick Kyme. We gave our rankings last episode. I said like 5 or 6. Gavin said 5. What did you decide on the importance?
I think it's like a 4.
Yeah, I think I said 3 last time.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So, guys, as always, hit us up on the Discord. It's a lot of fun. We have meetups coming up pretty much monthly. You can find that pinned to our Twitter at Heresy Lodge. We have tips enabled as well, so feel free to contribute to the podcast. We can also be seen on the YouTube. Please like and subscribe. And email us at theheresylodge@gmail.com. You guys have a good one.